Well, hello, guys. I've played this game a little bit. You may notice since I was last on recording. And basically what happened in that time was I spent some money. I bought another truck. I didn't like it, so I went back to this truck and hired a driver for the new one. It was kind of just wanting to test it. Someone was telling me to get a Volvo, and I was like, I don't know. And I tested it, and yeah, it had a bigger engine. That's about all I liked about it. And I just liked the feel of the Mercedes. So, oh, this is weird. So we're going to pick up a load right now. I think. Sure is taking me off a long way. Whoa. Huh. I just realized that that's an actual person in front of me. I was like, oh, it's just a ped. No, it's an actual person. So, whoa, okay. We're going to slow down, I guess. So I spent a little money. I actually upgraded some garages as well. And I'm going to hit him. Upgraded some of my garages as well. And, I bought a couple more trucks just so I could have more drivers. I realized, by the way, I don't know if I said this in the video or not, but the reason my money keeps going up is because I have hired drivers. And they're paying me every time I go on like a 24-hour boat ride. It makes up for the 24 hours of what they would have made. So that's why I end up getting $1 million every time I go on a 24-hour boat ride. That's pretty good to make $1 million a day. So I bought, I can't remember how many trucks I had before, but I filled all 3 of my garages. And I'm kind of excited to see what my money's going to look like. So we're going to ride down here and get a trailer. I had to, for the first time today, I had to experience how to downgrade my Euro Truck Simulator 2. Because apparently you can't play online with the latest version of ETS2. Don't know why. It's just the way they've got it set up. So I had to downgrade to an older version in order to play online. Which they said it would be fixed in a day or two, but meh. I wanted to play today. I really don't play this game that often. I don't play it as often as you guys think I do, that's for sure. There was a time where a lot of my recordings were... a lot of my recordings were done all at once. And I just post them as I get time. Or, you know, on a schedule, rather. So I had some internet issues this morning, and I think I got suspended for some reason. I know why. I think I know why. I got up this morning, and everything was working fine. The TV, the telephone, but the internet was out. And it was just kind of odd. And I couldn't get anything to work. And so I went on to my computer, because, you know, usually I try to use it on the iPad. Went onto the computer to just see what it was doing, and it was like... self-install page where you activate your modem for the self-install. And it was just weird. I called them up, asked them, you know, what's going on, and they were just like, oh, looks like it's not activated, but we don't see any reason why it's not, so we'll reactivate it for you. And I was like, okay. So I have 2 theories as to what happened. Recently we moved, and our telephone didn't work because they didn't move it to the new account. They left it on the old account. So they sent someone out here to fix it, and it's working now. But I felt like when the old account was terminated, my internet was not moved over either. So today it came unactivated because it was never moved over. Now, that was my first theory because I thought, you know, that's a reasonable theory. However... my cable card was not deactivated, and it was, you know, it was done at the same time they were supposed to have done all 3, and I thought they just forgot to do the phone, which is why we had to call for help on the phone. But if If the cable card was included, then, I mean, if the modem was not included in what got changed over, then the cable card wouldn't have been either. So that theory just kind of fell apart on me while I was thinking about it. And the only other thing that I can think of that may have gotten me suspended, which I have been suspended for before, is my usage. I tend to use a lot. I know they say that they don't limit you and that there's no limits and it's unlimited and all this, but there's a secret limit underneath that they don't tell you about. And I've been told this several times from several employees, so I'm pretty sure it's true. But the way it works is if you're on the 60 meg, the base level package like me, you're limited to 250 gigs a month. And if you go over that, usually they don't say anything, but if you go way over it, then they'll say something. Now, if you upgrade to the ultimate package, which is like 100 megasecond, you get a 500 gig cap. Let's just say I tend to go over that. I was checking my router out this morning to see if it was my problem while the internet was down, and I came over my traffic meter, and last month I used 1.3 terabytes of data, and this month I'm on track. I'm at 700 megabytes, and the bill doesn't end for another 2 weeks. So I've really been using it, and that's that's why I pay for it. I pay for it to use it. So that's my only guess why they would suspend me. They suspended me one time before because I went on a download spree, and it wasn't. I don't torrent at home. I do my torrents on my dedicated server so that it can seed and give me a better ratio, because I only use private trackers anyway. And seeding is a good thing with a private tracker. But the problem that I face is downloading it from the server, and so the server gets a gigabit per second, so there was no problem running at full port speed. So I downloaded 1.5 terabytes in about 3 days. That's how long it took to download it. And on the third day, I was suspended with no internet, and when I called, that was the reason. Because I had used an excessive amount. Which, when I called, and they told me the reason I was suspended was for excessive use, they didn't say, you don't need to do that, or, this or that. They tried to play off the whole, well, it is unlimited, but we have an underlying cap. And it's like, okay, so then I'm right about my assumption of an underlying cap. And he's like, well, if you need more bandwidth, maybe you need to upgrade to the 100. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to upgrade to the 100 because it's only 40 more megs, and it's like $80 more a month. I can't, that's retarded. It's like triple the price I paid now, and you only get 40 more megs. Not happening. So, yeah, that's where we are on that. So that's what I kind of figured, but they didn't say anything about why I was suspended today or why it was offline, so we will see. We will see what happens. But I think, I don't know if I said this or not, but it's not only that I was using an excessive amount like I always do, but I set the computer to upload a YouTube video that I had worked on, one of my Euro Truck Simulator videos, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, depending on when this one's uploaded. And it was a particularly long one, just kind of like the one today is going to be. It's kind of a long trip, and it ended up being 60-some gigs. And for me to get the best quality audio and video for YouTube, I choose not to compress it or convert it in any way. I upload it raw as 60 gigs and then let YouTube do what they need to do to put it on their servers, but it still maintains its high quality and it's looking good. So that's the way I do that. What?
Them little long packs of candy bars you used to get for $1.
Uh-huh.
Well, now they cut them in half
Nice.
for $1.
Do you know what?
What?
You just made yourself onto YouTube.
Huh.
Because I'm working on a video and you come in and just start talking.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So this is all you get.
Okay, cool.
I got me the mounds,
Okay, cool.
and
You realize you're ruining my video, right? You realize that, right? You realize that, right? Drinking and driving, sorry. So yeah. I'm not even 100% sure I'll be posting this one, but we're just going to continue recording and I'll review it once I'm done and decide later. So if you see this, good on you. And if not, why did I continue recording? I don't know. I knew that she'd be coming in at some point, and I didn't. I don't know. I just wanted to record a video, so I was like, I'm going to do this right now. This is what I do. So YouTube has been really taking off for me, and I don't know if it's so much the gameplay videos. I don't think it is actually. I just enjoy doing the gameplay videos. I enjoy posting them. I enjoy watching my own videos, which is probably kind of weird. When I get bored, I just put them up on the big screen and listen to them and just kind of make sure, is that something I'm cool with posting? Because usually I'll watch every one to make sure it's good before it actually goes live. And I had one go out the other day that I wasn't too happy with, but I just let it go because I was like, you guys, some of you like to hear my friends talk, and some of you are like, I hate your stupid friends, get them away, But I mean, we can't all hate on K-Dog, so. But anyway. So yeah. But YouTube, I think it's more my vehicle reviews than anything that are taking off. And I guess I need to get back to work on that. I for the past couple months, I rented that F-150. I drove it for a while. I was done with it because I was getting low on money, so I took it back and swapped it for the Chrysler 300, which I kept it for a while. And now I've taken it back, so I guess I do need to get back to doing reviews. Because they seem to be the ones that get the most views. Not so much the gameplay, but I'm sure there are some of you that like the gameplay. I've really gained a lot of subscribers in the past little bit, and I don't know if it's because of the gameplay or if it's because of all the views on the... I think there's a way... Ooh, I need this exit. I think there's a way to check what video a person was watching when they click subscribe. I need to find that out. If there's a way to tell that, then I'll know what I need to work on to make you guys more interested in what I've got to put out. That's what I want to do. I need to see if that's possible. I mean, I really enjoy the gameplay videos, and I tried to cut them down so that they're only once a week. So, those of you who don't like watching them, which if you don't like watching them, you're not going to watch to this point anyway, but those of you who don't like watching them will not have to deal with too many coming up in your feed, just once a week. And then I really haven't done anything else in between, which I need to get back to doing that. I usually post, once a week at least, and it's been about a month since I've posted anything. I do have 2 vlogs that I've edited, which they'll go up before this video goes up, so that's kind of irrelevant for me to mention that. But I have 2 vlogs edited, and they'll go up in a couple of days, which is about a month ago for this video. So, just go back a month, and that's horrible. So, I That's the only thing. I hate the disconnect. Like, I hate that I record a month in advance or 2 months in advance sometimes because I get a little overpowered. I hate the disconnect of it being so current, but at the same time, I like knowing that I've got it done. Like, I ain't got to worry about it. If something comes up and I can't play the computer extra time, if I have other stuff to do, then I ain't got to worry about coming in here and playing video games to keep up with my schedule. Plus, it's only a once-a-week schedule. It's not like it's a big schedule. And the thing is, I've played so much on this game that I think I played this game more than I have any other game lately. I just spend a lot of time in here. I don't know why. It's easy. It's relaxing. I enjoy it. Plus, you get to interact with other people. You see them on the road. You blow your horn at them or whatever. It's just kind of interesting. I don't think I'd play it nearly as much as if it were single player. That's the biggest thing I'm going to have. That's the biggest problem I'm going to have with American Truck Simulator is waiting on the multiplayer to come out, because I don't think I'm going to like it too much on single player. I want to continue the multiplayer series. But yeah, I can't really think of another game that I have played as much. I play like MTA. I can't really record that. I play some other games that I've talked to you guys about, like Civilization, but it's just not something I want to record. I tried to record Prison Architect. I got it during the Steam sale, and I ended up not doing that either, so. This guy must have that speed limiter on at 90, because I'm approaching him pretty fast like. I don't really want to pass him in a curve, but I don't think I have much of an option at this point. A little bit of communication there. For those of you who don't catch what I did there, you can notice they've changed it so you can see, like, when someone puts their bright lights on, and you can see it from any direction now. And I was staying in the left lane so that I wouldn't get in his way and cause any kind of lag hit on him, and he flicked his lights, and that's like a universal message for, like, you can get over. You're cool to get over now. So I flicked my signal on, and I came over in front of him, and then I hit my hazard lights twice. That's sort of a universal thank you. I'm sure most of you know this, but if you don't, you just learned something. So I just like doing that. I'm usually pretty nice to big trucks on the road. I mean, some regular car drivers can be real asshats sometimes, and you just want to piss them off. From some of the crap they do, you just want to piss them off. But when it comes to a big rig, I'll gladly slow down and let you over in front of me any day, all the time. I do it several times, so. And that just pisses off the people behind me, so why not? All the more reason to at that point. So, it's kind of sad because we are going out of Scandinavia on this road. Run. Let me think about that for a second. Anyway, I don't really like going out of Scandinavia. I like Scandinavia a lot better. But I felt like I've spent enough time up here, and I need to do some more long-distance runs. And hopefully I can find something down there that will take me back to Scandinavia. I can be like Trucker Josh. I can run loads within Scandinavia, and then loads going out of Scandinavia, but I'm only going to take a load if it takes me back into Scandinavia. I'm not going to take a load to stay out of Scandinavia. Is this a red light? What in the world? I'm coming up on an interstate doing 110, and here's a red light. I have my volume turned down so that there's no like echo, and I can barely hear it, so I think I'm going to turn it up here in a second. I think I'm within a city. It's not letting me go past 60. Of course, there's a red light, so I guess I don't really have much of a choice on that one right now. Yep. Just as soon as you get it stopped. Well, that was kind of a... That seems like that was an unreasonable turn off the interstate there, because I'm just getting right back on another one right here. Not unless I missed my exit and was talking and just didn't even notice. That's possible. It's happened a couple times. Past couple weeks. Something tells me that I shortcutted this. Because see, I just now, if you're looking at the map, it just now turned yellow instead of gray. So instead of going all the way around this last time, I think I just cut right through there and in the wrong way on the lane, and I don't know. Because I've been here before, so I've obviously been here. It's just that that particular roundabout, I had not unlocked it. It was still gray, as if I had never drove there before. I don't know. It's possible. I like Mercedes trucks. I think they're probably the best ones to drive so far. I just wish they came with a bigger engine option with more power, because this doesn't have a whole lot of power. That moment when you're just relaxed, driving. You don't think about what to say next. I know I usually talk a lot during these, but I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just enjoying the drive at this point. I'm not really thinking about what to talk about. I talked about trucks. I've learned a little bit more information since I last talked about trucks. Information that I didn't know, at least. And I feel like I'm a little bit more educated at this point as far as making a educated opinion. I like Rams. They're pretty nice. But I have to admit that I wasn't a Ram person to begin with. I was a shoulder person because I drive on the shoulder. No, I'm just kidding. Always been a Ford guy. Always liked Fords. Now, I'm not going to jump from Ford to Chevy anytime soon. Ooh, I need this. Caught me off guard. I'm not going to jump from Ford to Chevy, but I'm likely to go from Ford to Ram, because I've driven Rams, and they're really not that bad. They've got a lot to offer. Fords have a lot to offer too. It's just that I feel like Ford is more of a work truck, something that you use working. And a Ram is something that it's more luxurious. It works, but it's more luxurious. And that's something that I like. I don't think I've ever taken this road. I mean, I have from here, but back there on that exit, I'd never taken that exit. So that was pretty cool. I love unlocking new roads. I don't know why I'm lagging, though. You guys probably won't see it nearly as bad as I'm seeing it, but there must be a lot of people in this city that I'm coming up to, because I'm having a lot of frame lag here. But anyway, back to my point. I really like the Ram diesel. It's a 2500 Ram, which has the 6-cylinder turbo diesel. I did some research on it. I really liked what I heard. To be honest, it kind of sounded like the same thing as the Ford F-150 twin turbo. Only difference is the F-150 has a twin turbo and the Ram only has a single turbo. That was, to my understanding, that was the only difference. But I've learned that there's quite a few differences. I mean, obviously that it's diesel too. That's another difference. But there's quite a few differences between the two, and it seems as if the Ram has less power than the Ford, even though it's a diesel. You'd think diesel would get better everything, but pot flowers. Wow, that's not scary at all. But I've done a little bit of research on them. Just kind of, what is this guy doing? Is he just sitting here? I don't want to hit him because there we go. I like diesel trucks, and if I had the money to buy one, I probably would go diesel, just because I like them. I like the sound. I like the reliability. I like the lower maintenance. But that's the hard part. Choosing a truck that is best for what you're wanting to put it to. I'm probably never going to be hauling a 20-ton camper or anything like that. I'm not going to be putting it to a lot of use. But I want to have that ability just in case I want to one day. And so there's that. And I think the 6-cylinder turbo diesel Ram is pretty capable of what you want it to do. But in that sense, so is the F-150 twin turbo V6 gas engine, because it's a very powerful and capable engine for what it's got. I mean, to be a V6, it's a very powerful and capable engine. But then you lose your diesel, so and the first diesel that you can get with Ford is the F-250 twin turbo. I think it is twin turbo V8, which then you lose your gas mileage that you would get with the Ram. Get a lot more power and a lot more pulling, but it seems like to me Ram has 3 classes of trucks, whereas Ford has a whole different type of 3 classes of trucks. You got the F-150, it's the half-ton, it's the basic everyday truck. Then you got the F-250, which kind of crosses over into the heavy-duty range. But if you're going to go that far in to the heavy-duty range, why wouldn't you just do 350 dually? Because then you're full-on heavy-duty, The 250 seems almost like it serves no purpose other than, why wouldn't you just go ahead and get the 350? If you're going to get something that big, just go on and get a dually and call it what it is. But with Ram, they have 3 distinct classes, where you have the 1500, which is the basic class, kind of like the F-150, the everyday truck. Then you have the 2500, which is a little more capable. It's not quite heavy duty like the F-250 would be, but it's more capable than the 1500 because it has a twin turbo, or no, it's just a turbo diesel. As far as I'm aware, it's not a twin turbo. It has a turbo diesel V6 that has, pretty good output for what it is. And then, you go on up to 3500, you're talking about a full-on turbo V8 Cummins diesel that can do everything. I mean, big, heavy-duty, dually wheels, everything. So, I feel like Ram has a more broader range as far as, splitting up the difference with those 3. The only thing is about that is in Ford's F-150 range, I feel like they're more capable because they're a twin turbo V6 that's capable of hauling more than the Ram 1500 can. And the Ram 1500 has like two options. It probably has more, but mainly two options. One is the 5.7 liter V8, which obviously is going to suck gas and not compare to the V6 of the Ford. But then it also has a V6 EcoDiesel. Now, what's different about the V6 EcoDiesel versus the Cummins V6 turbo diesel? Because they both have a turbo, they're both diesel, and they're both 6-cylinder. The only difference is, for the 2500, the Cummins turbo diesel has more power output. It's like they've tuned it to give more power than economy, whereas on the EcoDiesel, you know, it maxes out, it redlines at 3,500 RPM. It will not go any higher. And I think that's for fuel economy. That's great. Fuel economy is cool, but are you sacrificing capability with the truck just to get that fuel economy? And I think they are. And that's my honest opinion. I think that it's making it less capable. So if I'm comparing Ram 1500 EcoDiesel to Ford F-150 twin turbo V6, I'm going to go F-150 because it's more powerful, more capable, and around the same price. Actually, I think that the EcoDiesel is a little bit more because it's a diesel. So if you want a diesel, the EcoDiesel's quiet anyway, so you're kind of defeating the purpose of getting a diesel by getting the EcoDiesel because it's so quiet. I mean, fuel economy is great, but you're not really getting it for the purpose of getting a diesel. You're getting it for the purpose of getting good gas mileage, but not sacrificing a truck. Because I feel like the EcoDiesel is going to get better gas mileage than the V6 F-150. In my personal opinion, I don't know. I haven't drove an EcoDiesel. I have driven an F-150 twin turbo V6. Loved it. Didn't want to get rid of it. But I've never driven an EcoDiesel, so I don't know. I mean, all I know is from other people who have driven them, and I've talked to them, and I know, you know, what they have said, and that's kind of what I base my assumptions on. So there's room for error there, but I'm pretty confident in what I say. I'm confident that the information that I have is accurate. So if it's 1500 versus F-150, it's going to be the F-150 for me. But if we're moving up to the F-250 versus the 2500, I feel like I said earlier, the F-250, that class of truck should not be heavy duty. Like, if I'm going to do heavy duty things, I should just go ahead and get an F-350 dually or a 1300 or 3500 dually Dodge. I mean, the 2500 should be in the middle. It shouldn't compete with the highest end. So for that fact, I don't feel like Ford did the right thing by, you know, going straight to turbo diesel V8 or a big V8 gas engine and not offering another option. I would have loved to have seen a Ford 6-cylinder turbo diesel. That would have been awesome. But as far as I understand at this point, Ram's the only one that does that, or Cummins does that. So so that's kind of what sets the 2500 apart. If I were going for that class, the 2500 or 250 class, I'd probably go the 2500 with the V6 turbo diesel, because I feel like that's more capable, or just as capable as the V8 with better gas mileage. Now Ford's, you know, V8 turbo diesel is nothing to joke around about. It's got some power, but that, you know, like I said, the 2500, the F-250, those are not heavy duty trucks. They're not intended for heavy duty. If you're wanting heavy duty, you might as well go ahead and go on with an F-350. And in that case, you know, in that particular class, that's what I would choose, the F-350, because the twin turbo diesel is or Power Stroke, or whatever you want to call it, is, in my opinion, more capable than the Ram, the Cummins turbo diesel V8. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I just have a little bit of both ways. But, so where my thing lies is I really want a diesel. And I get that I just pretty much bashed Ram for saying that the EcoDiesel was not a real diesel because it's too quiet. It's all about fuel economy. It's not about being a diesel. I want a diesel. But the price difference of going 2,500 versus 1,500 EcoDiesel is actually kind of large. So I can't decide if a Ram 1500 EcoDiesel would be worth it in my situation. Because like I said, I don't intend on using it to pull a 10-ton camper or whatever, whatever. But I want to have that ability. If that ever comes up that I need to or want to, I want to be able to. It was nice because when I had that F-150 twin-turbo V6, it had a towing capacity of 10,000 pounds. That's more than anyone's truck I knew at that particular time. I mean, anyone in my family. So when we talked about hauling a huge trailer down the road several hours, I was like, yeah, we can just use my truck because it's very capable. I mean, it has the ability, and I like that. I've been looking at some used ones. I'm never going to buy new. New is awesome and all, but they're too expensive. You lose too much on your value just by driving it. So I've seen some pretty nice used ones. I've seen some pretty affordable 2500s, but it's like I said in my last video, I want the highest end. I don't want to go cheap. I'm not looking for a cheap truck. If I wanted a cheap truck, well, I'm not gonna. I was gonna pick a company and just name one and be like, yeah, there's a $5,000 truck. No, I'm not gonna do that. So if I'm gonna get one, it's gonna be a truck that I like and one that I like to drive. Which could be like, I think it's called the Laramie or Laramine or something like that. I think it's Laramie model for Ram. It's the Lariat in Ford, but I've only just recently become a Ram person, so you have to excuse me on pronunciation of things I don't know what I'm talking about. Those are the trim levels that I'm looking at. To be honest, if I was going forward, I'd probably try to go platinum. But I don't think there's anything above the Laramie in Ram. And if there is, there's not enough difference to notice. I feel like there's a huge difference in the Ford, Lariat versus Platinum. And Platinum, it has its own custom badging, it has its own custom, grill and all that cool stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what, feature-wise, what's better. I just know that it's going to be at least a Laramie for Ram, or at least, I'm thinking Platinum if I go forward. Now, I know this year, 2016, not yet, yeah, next year, for the 2016 F-150, they're releasing a limited edition, which is above Platinum. So apparently it's like the highest end, best they offer. And I really can't wait to see that. I can't wait to, I'll probably never get to drive one because the amount of vehicles that I have access to are not typically high end. They're typically the cheaper ones. And unless some sort of automaker partners with me and is like, hey, we'll give you a press car for a week. Other than that, I don't feel like I'll be driving one anytime soon. And I don't feel like, I don't know, I think my videos, in personal opinion, I don't think my videos are high enough quality to even consider qualifying to be press or to get a press car, I think I have to step up my review game and my production of the videos a lot before that even becomes an option, because at this point, I mean, I'm just an average guy, I guess you'd say. I'm just a normal guy who gets cars and talks about them, and that's it. I don't really go into the detailed specs about the cars. I talk about the information that I know about them, which, is based upon personal research. It's not like I've been trained to, the perforated leather is 3.3 inches thick, and, I don't do all that. No. Because that doesn't seem useful to me. Yeah, okay, it's comfortable. It's soft. That's what you get in the review. Or it's hard as a rock. It's a piece of crap, I've said that before about Chevy. I mean, yeah. So, I will tell you one vehicle, though, and I've probably said this a couple times. I realize that's a speed camera. I'm not going to slow down. One vehicle I enjoyed particularly well, it was the Chevy Suburban. They did a really good job with that car. It's sad that you have to go to the biggest car they make and one of the highest trim levels in it to get decent features out of it, but at the same time, it was a nice car. I really liked it. I don't think I'll ever own a Chevy Suburban, not until I have like 20 kids. Okay, that's unrealistic, but you get what I'm saying. I don't have any reason to own a Suburban right now, and I don't see any point. I'd rather just own a truck. But I do want, when I talk truck, regular cab or extended cab is completely out of the question. It must be a crew cab. It must have 4 full-size doors. That's a truck to me. I don't even consider anything smaller as halfway a contender at this point, because they're really not. I've never liked small trucks. I've never liked 2-door trucks or 3-door trucks. I've always liked the big ones. My dad wrecked his truck a couple years ago, and which is another story for another time, and it totaled it, and so he had to start looking for a new truck. And I was like, I'm going to help you. I'm going to find something nice. And it actually wasn't my first pick. It wasn't the first one we went and looked at either. We drove several places and looked at them. But I finally came up with one that I liked and he liked, and it was within the price range. I think it was a 2001, which, it's old, but he wasn't looking to buy a new one. So 2001 F-150 Lariat, and it's a crew cab. And it was just everything was perfect. It was everything that I wanted it to be. I mean, he picked his last one. It was like an XLT 2000 F-150 XLT, and it was the extended cab with, it had 4 doors, but the 2 back doors opened like suicide doors. They were different. So I didn't like that. It just wasn't me. It wasn't for me, So I wanted to help him find a crew cab with 4 full-size doors, a big truck, and something that would meet his needs. And Lariat just icing the cake, because he didn't care about leather. He really didn't even want leather. But for me, that's what I would have wanted. So as far as I understand, he enjoys the truck. I mean, it's getting older. It's getting a lot of miles on it. Where he used to work, they moved, and now he has to commute to go to work, and it's a big ordeal. And so, as far as I understand, he likes it. He enjoys driving it. So it's kind of an older truck, but it does exactly what he wants. And I've mentioned before about, why don't you get a newer truck? Why don't you upgrade? Because it ain't like he ain't got the money. He's got the money, but he's, he likes to go hunting, and he likes to go different places, and he's like, well, I can't take a new truck, 40 miles into the woods, because it would get scratched up and dented and beat up. I can't do that. And he's like, so I need an older truck that I can abuse and take it wherever I want. And I'm like, well, that's true. I used to go bear hunting with him, and right before we go bear hunting, we usually set up some cameras to see, because people were like, oh, they're in my backyard all the time. Oh, are they? Okay, we'll come check it out. We We might can start there, you know. So we'll set up some cameras in their backyard just to kind of see, you know, what is anything there? Is it a bear? Is it a raccoon or something else? You know, because some people, they're just like, they don't really know. So in one particular place that we set up a camera, it's really, really rough. I mean, there's a lot to get there. It takes a lot to get there. And I had my F-150 at the time, and there was no way. It would have never, I couldn't have taken it up in there. It would have had scratches all the way down it. We took his, and it wasn't a problem. So it's like, well, whatever. So I guess he has a point where he says, you know, you can't. I know, right? I mean, I'm waiting on this guy because he was technically here first, but anyway, so yeah, he doesn't want a new truck because he'll scratch it and mess it up. My grandpa's the same way. My grandpa's truck, it just looks horrible, but he has the same opinion. He's like, I can't use it. If it's new, I can't use it. So I guess he's got a reasonable opinion there, a reasonable point. So, me, on the other hand, I don't think I'll use it that much. I mean, obviously I'm going to use it, but I don't feel like I'm going to use it to the point where I'm going to scratch it up or anything. And if I do, then, well, I'm going to only scratch up the bed part. I'm not going to. This guy can't back his trailer. That's apparent at this point. I'm just going to back on top of them because great. That did not work. Doing it. Dropping it right there. Said it was good. I did it. Alright, well, thanks for watching.